In this installment, we have a matchup for Thursday Night Football Showdown slate on Draftkings between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Tennessee Titans. Let's get into it. Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Chef D, and I'm here to bring you the winning ingredients for our Thursday Night Football Showdown slate on Draftkings here between the Tennessee Titans and the Pittsburgh Steelers. We have two teams here. Mike Vrabel with great leaders, Mike Vrabel and Mike Tomlin here. It's going to be a very, very interesting matchup. But before I deep dive into that, guys, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Make sure you follow me on Instagram and Twitter at MessNetchSD. Don't forget about the TikTok at Chef_D91. And don't forget about the Patreon. I'm going to touch on that very, very soon. But, guys, we are at the homepage right now of YouTube. We are at 1.45K subscribers, all right? So we reached our goal of 1.45. Guess what we're going to be pushing for? 1.46. Let's continue to climb. And obviously, we want to reach our goal, hopefully by playoff time, to get to 2,000 subscribers. And then we're going to a whole nother level. So, guys, if you want to get connected, please go to that Patreon link down below and look at this Patreon right now. So, game 3 of the MLB, we had the Rangers money line. That came through over the weekend. We're hitting parlays over the weekend. That ended obviously on Monday with the Detroit Lions coming through. We even have a 12-leg parlay that came through. 12 legs. We're hitting that over here in the Patreon. If you want winning bets, then sign up for that Patreon link that is provided down below. Get connected. Do not miss out on futures, NFL futures, NBA futures, MLB picks as well. Get connected. Before we get into the captains, we have to touch on the injury report. See if there's any way we can wiggle through and find some gems in this matchup between the Steelers and the Titans. So far for the Steelers, we're going to be looking at the DNPs. All right, there hasn't been practice for Wednesday as of yet. So obviously, if it goes limited practice, and then a downgrade on Wednesday, that doesn't bode well. So if you see limited, and then limited, obviously they're going to play. We're only looking for DNPs right now because we do not have information on Wednesday so far. So Minkah Fitzpatrick, that's going to be a major injury for that defense for the Pittsburgh Steelers. He needs to get in a limited on Wednesday for him to have a chance to play on Thursday. All right, on the Tennessee Titans side, this team has a little bit more injuries. Chris Hubbard on the O-line here has 2 DNPs, so we're going to see what happens to him Wednesday. Chris Moore, right now, he has a personal issue, so we'll see if he's able to come back on Wednesday. Anthony Kendall had a full participant in practice on Tuesday. He's going to be fine. Ryan Tannehill is going to be out. Obviously, we're going to be seeing the Will Levis show, part 2 here. Will Levis here, part 2, and everyone else is looking fine for those Tennessee Titans, who are looking to get 2 wins in a row here. So let's get into the captains. Now we're going to start at the top for our captain plays for this Thursday night slate. And the guy we're going to be talking about first, this one here, Derrick Henry, he had all the commotion around him, all the reports around him. If he was going to get traded by the trade deadline, he did not. They're going to be keeping Derrick Henry for the rest of the season. So, hey, we're going to buckle up and we're going to utilize Derrick Henry. One of the weaknesses of the Pittsburgh Steelers is that run stopping ability. All right, so if we're looking at their rank against opposing running backs, currently right now, this is the 8th best matchup. As you can see right here, Steelers are giving up 21.7 fantasy points per game to that running back position. And that's going to bode well for Derrick Henry, who has back-to-back games here with 19 fantasy points here. But if you look at a glance, he is struggling on the road, okay? So this is a good matchup, but he's on the road. We're going to try to see if we can get somewhere in the middle here. But Derrick Henry is viable for a captain spot. As you can see, those splits, 21 points at home. All right. And then away games, he has 8.4. This is a rookie quarterback as well that you see in Will Levis going up against the Pittsburgh Steelers pass rush. That is very, very dangerous. And you already have an injury on that offensive line. So I'm letting you guys know some information. If you dig a little bit deeper, then you can find ways to move down some guys and move up some guys. But this is Derrick Henry. We're going to leave him here at the captain spot, but it comes with a lot of Q tags, even the Q tag that's next to him right now. Will Levis, I will mention, we'll be bumping him down to a flex play. Will we not be playing him at captain? Yes, you got the perfect game. And now you got film tape on Will Levis, what to expect, okay? He had an awesome game against Atlanta, 238 yards, 4 TDs. Perfect performance, all right? Now you're talking about a rookie quarterback going up against Mike Tomlin, going up against the Pittsburgh Steelers at home, against a healthy pass rush in the Pittsburgh Steelers. That's a lot of question marks there. So we will not be playing Will Levis at the captain spot. He'll be moved down to a flex play, if anything. Okay. Now the weaknesses of the Tennessee Titans here, that's going to be against opposing wide receivers, all right? So if we're looking at the rank against opposing wide receivers, this is the 7th best matchup going up against this team here. And that means we'll be talking about their wide receivers in Deontay Johnson and George Pickens. Love both of these guys as captain plays, all right? Deontay Johnson getting back in the mix. He's yet to get a touchdown so far yet this season, and he's finally back from his injury, and he's getting his production. You saw 5 for 79 with 6 targets in week 7. Then you saw an increase, 8 receptions, 14 targets, 85 yards. That's the Deontay Johnson we know and love, and expect him to have a breakout game in this one here. So I love Deontay Johnson. He's one of my favorite plays on the slate here. He's the number 1 wide receiver for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And we have positive news about Kenny Pickett. He is trending towards playing in this game on Thursday. It's going to be a very key factor as well. Now, number 2, you have George Pickens here. George Pickens, I like him as well. This man's a mismatch, all right? No one can guard him. You just wanted him to boost his route tree. Obviously, it was a tough matchup against Jacksonville. This is a much easier matchup here against the Tennessee Titans. I'm liking both of these wide receivers here. Pickens, Johnson. Hey, it could be Johnson getting all the receptions and Pickens getting the touchdown. Hey, it doesn't matter either or. They're going to eat on this secondary here in the Tennessee Titans. Love George Pickens in this game to have another explosive game here. All right, like him at his current price. If I like the 2 wide receivers, that means I like Kenny Pickett. All right, but Kenny Pickett upside is a little bit downgraded just because I expect Deontay or George Pickens to score more points than him. So Kenny Pickett is definitely viable, 100% viable as a flex play if I'm already liking his 2 top wide receivers. So he's already trending towards playing. That's the positive that we needed to see. So Kenny Pickett is going to be a solid play in our lineups. All right. As we can continue to go down, Najee Harris. This is not a good matchup for Najee Harris. One of the strengths of the Tennessee Titans. It's like a funnel, okay? They gave up a ton of yards passing wise, but there's like a bend don't break defense, and they play pretty strong in the red zone area, especially against opposing running backs as well. So for him to pay off salary, he has to get in the end zone. He's just not that consistent. He rushes the ball poorly, and the only way he can get you there is getting reception. So that's what you want to rely on. He's more of a flex play. If we're any other captains that I'm looking at will be Steelers defense. Steelers defense has a high propensity to being a very good play on this slate. If we're looking at this team, Steelers defense is very, very strong as a defense at home. Okay, like I said, we have Will Levis, a rookie quarterback, going up against a very daunted defense and pass rush. All right, both sides. Very dangerous. This does not bode well for him. And you got a very experienced coach in Mike Tomlin. Look at the home and road splits of the Steelers defense, and it makes total sense. Steelers on the road, that defense is only averaging 5 fantasy points a game. Steelers at home, they're averaging 15 fantasy points a game. All right, this team is ratcheting up interceptions, fumble recovery, sacks. They have 16 sacks at home compared to 6 sacks away. They even have a safety. They have 2 touchdowns. This defense turns things up at home. This is a very sneaky captain play here. Love the upside here for the Steelers defense in this game on Thursday. All right. Anyone else you could consider? D-Hop. D-Hop is right here at the top because he's going to be getting a lot of targets. So if you want to go that route, he had an explosive game, 37.8. He does have a very good matchup going up against the opposing number 1 cornerback on the Pittsburgh Steelers side, who is Patrick Patterson. But D-Hop here, I don't expect a great game from Levis, but if we're going to funnel targets, he would be the guy to lean on. Let's move on to the flex plays. Finally, for our flex spots, the guys we're going to be filling in at the bottom of our lineups that can come through for us with low ownership. The first guy we're going to be speaking about will be Jaylen Warren. All right. Now, since I do not like Najee Harris, I definitely do like Jaylen Warren. He has upside. He has explosiveness. He's the total opposite of the garbage Najee Harris. All right. Jaylen Warren here provides you upside, and he's pretty consistent, giving you at least a decent amount of fantasy production. He already has so far this year 4 games of having double-digit fantasy points, 10.1, 10.9, 11.5, and 12.6. He's a big factor, the way better running back, rushing the football, and is the better receiver as well. So everything Najee can do, Jaylen Warren can do better. He's going to be our top play as a flex, especially since we're fading Najee Harris. All right. Now, the next player we're going to be considering will be Tyjae Spears. All right. Like I said, this the benefit for the Tennessee Titans. The good part here is that they can hopefully get the run game going, and that means Derrick Henry, and that also means Tyjae Spears because he can rush the football very well, very explosive. They use him in a lot of trick plays as well. And receiving wise, getting him in screens and in space is going to provide upside for them if they have a chance at getting a win in this game here. So I like the explosiveness of Tyjae Spears here to get you a decent allotment of fantasy points. Just like you saw Jaylen Warren, he has upside. Tyjae Spears is a very consistent, someone that can give you a nice handful to even 10 fantasy points in your lineup. So we gonna focus in on those 2 cheap plays right there. Kickers and defenses are going to be viable. I already spoke to you about Steelers defense. We will be not playing the Titans defense. No Titans defense. All right. This is not a good matchup for them. We're going to go with the Steelers defense at home. And you can play both kickers. We have Boswell here, who is in a very good matchup. Opposing, if we're looking at fantasy points per game against kickers, yes, that we have rankings on that as well. This is a very good matchup. This is the second best matchup in the whole entire league. The Tennessee Titans are giving up 11.4 fantasy points per game to opposing kickers. So that's going to bode well for Chris Boswell because, like I said, this is a bend, don't break defense here in the Tennessee Titans. They allow yards, but then in the red zone, they are pretty stout on some third down situations and force field goals, all right? And that bodes well as well for Nick Folk, okay? We like Nick Folk on the other side for Tennessee. If I don't like Will Levis in this game, the way they're going to put up points will have to be through field goals, okay? So Nick Folk and Boswell are going to be viable. Other guys, other than that, in this Thursday slate, you can look at Okonkwo for rookie quarterbacks. Obviously, that their best friend is going to be pass-catching running backs and tight ends. That's why you saw 4 of 6 for 23 yards. And even they utilize Okonkwo in a rushing play here. So we have some upside. He's very athletic and a mismatch going up against opposing safeties and linebackers. So Okonkwo was going to grade well for us as a flex play. Other than that, it gets pretty ugly when you get down here. Treylon Burks, we've yet to see him pop off. He's done nothing so far this year. I don't expect him to do much in this one, but he will get some a little more run here because Chris Moore's trending towards being out. We'll see if he's able to practice on Wednesday. And then the number 3 wide receiver is Westbrook-Ikine. I don't like Will Levis, so we're not going to have to go in that route there. But if you're desperate about the flex play, you can consider one of those 2 Titan wide receivers there. And then at the tight end position for the Pittsburgh Steelers, because our boy is still out, Pat Freiermuth is still out, you can look at Connor Hayward here at this price of 4,200. You can consider him as a flex play. This is the lowest we're going. All right, this is the absolute lowest we're going. Connor Hayward. All right, so those are the flex plays. Now onto the guarantee plays to have in each and every one of our lineups. All right, number one, to have in each and every one of our lineups is Steelers defense. We're going to play Steelers defense 100%. The number two best play will be Deontay Johnson. We will have in each and every one of our lineups. And the number three play, I can go with another Pittsburgh Steeler easily. The final play will be Derrick Henry. All right. I said that with I can go with George Pickens right here, no problem. George Pickens, Jaylen Warren, I can go with that 100%. All right, but Derrick Henry, need to bring someone back. It's either going to be Derrick Henry, is going to be a kicker. That's it. Derrick Henry, kicker, and if we want to go cheap, Tajay Spears. All right, so those are going to be the three guaranteed plays there. Thank you guys for tuning in. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. I'll be back with another video very soon, guys. Don't forget to sign up for that Patreon. That link is provided down below.